Alright, I'm back. Oh, well, it's getting too dark for that. What is this, part 3? It's now 7 o'clock. I didn't remember what I was talking about. Being in a funk over Melissa, and I'm in a funk that Joey's gone. You know, I won't have him again until Sunday night. I'll get him for a couple hours tomorrow afternoon after school, but Thursday they're going down to St. Pete to her mother's for the weekend. Her twin sister's coming down from Illinois with her family, so Joey gets to see his cousins. I'm bummed that he's going to be gone, but I'm happy that he gets to see his cousins. But yeah, I get myself free little by little. Little by little. That's my favorite Robert Plant song from his solo career after Zeppelin. And that's how I feel. Little by little, I can breathe again. The air clears. I'll never be what I was. She's always going to have a spot here, but I try to tell myself that yeah, she may still own a piece of my heart, but the piece that she owns is the dead piece. Sometimes I think maybe that's why I got a dead piece. Maybe the bottom end of my heart doesn't pump because of her. That's stupid and corny too, but love is dumb, people. Love stinks. Is that Jay Giles? I got in trouble before with somebody because I confused Love Stinks, I think, with the Cars. But that's because I've never been a huge fan of either the Cars or Jay Giles band. The Cars, the one song they did that I really liked is "Moving in Stereo," and Jay Giles band, the one song they did that I really liked was "Fright Night," the title track for the movie. Other than that, I was never a huge fan of either of those bands. So, and they sound really similar to me, so I get them confused. Yep, love stinks. And nothing else will ruin you faster or more complete. I went yesterday and got that Loop heart monitor installed, implanted. Probably won't get in too much trouble for showing some skin on YouTube. Oh, so you see it right there. Still got the bandage on it. I got a little transceiver plugged up next to my bed upstairs, and it takes readings at night when I'm in bed. That when I do have an issue with my heart, it's always in the middle of the night. Always usually happens between like midnight and 5 in the morning. So the transceiver is there, and it downloads telemetry data from the implant, and then it sends that off to the cardiologist's office. Hopefully I'll get an update on how that's doing here soon. I got my heart cath on the 24th. He's going to go and poke around, and we may need to do a couple more stints because I've had some issues recently. Nothing too terribly bad. Nothing bad enough to debilitate me or bad enough to go to the hospital over. But I've had to take nitro a couple of times. I've also developed this issue over the past few days where after I've been laying down for a while, my left foot goes extra numb. It's already numb and tingly and prickly, needles and pins because I've got neuropathy. It's pretty bad. But after I've been laying down for an hour, 2 hours, it gets way worse. And I've noticed that the temperature of my foot goes down just a little bit. Not enough to be, is my foot dying? But it goes down a little bit. And I think I've developed a blockage in one of the arteries in my left leg. They did a revascularization on my right leg when I was in the hospital last year. Back then the left leg was good, but they might need to do that procedure on my left leg now too. I don't know. But I got that recliner up in my room, and there have been a couple of nights now where I've gotten up and sat in the recliner and tried to doze off in the recliner, so I'm not completely horizontal, because my heart seems to struggle and work harder when I'm horizontal. So we'll see what happens there. Joey had his birthday party Sunday, parked down the road. Aside from me and my parents and a couple of people from Scouts, I didn't know anybody, but they all kind of treated me like I had the plague. So they were all friends of hers and her boyfriends. I take it they have all heard wonderful stories about me. Her best friend was there, and I was very shocked when I saw her best friend, because I did not perceive her best friend from hearing about her and what she actually looked like. And there were points where she was like staring daggers at me. I'm thoroughly convinced that she herself is thoroughly convinced that I'm the devil incarnate. And it was hard for me, but I managed for Joey. I did over the end of last week and Saturday managed to sell some parts. No bites on any of my project cars yet, but I managed to make a little bit of money and was able to get Joey a couple of birthday presents for his party, and he was really happy. So yesterday I got another riding mower. I got it for an Absolute Song because it needs some work. It potentially needs some extensive work, but I already have the part that it needs if it comes to that, so it won't cost me much money to fix it. And this is a big old huge tractor. It's a 30-year-old Craftsman Die Hard GT, 50-inch cut, 22 horsepower Kohler Command, and really tough hydrostatic transmission, transaxle. And that's the problem. It won't go into gear. It won't go forward or backward. And like I said, it's an absolute huge mower. It's easily 4 or 5 times bigger than the little Troy-Bilt that we got from my folks. But it runs good. It's in good shape aside from the transaxle. And it would be an absolute godsend here on my 2 acres. I was working on it today. I've narrowed it down to 3 potential issues. I'm going to investigate 2 of them tomorrow, and then the third is the transaxle's just done. but I have a transaxle that'll work for it. So if I determine tomorrow that the other two issues that could potentially see me getting it going without replacing the transaxle are exhausted and don't fix it, then this weekend I will begin the process of replacing the transaxle. In my condition, it may take me a couple of days to do it. I've done a very similar job before in like 3 hours, but that is not going to happen now. But I've at least got that to keep me busy, try to keep my hands busy, and hopefully my mind follows, so I don't dwell on bad stuff over the weekend. I feel the depression creeping in, man, and it's going to be a rough night and maybe a rough couple of days. But I'll deal with it. I always do. I will deal with it.